Taub here, co-creator of NextLevelGuitar.com. Hope all is going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journeys are going famously. Today, I have a lesson on my top 3 must-know chord changing techniques. Being that I've taught guitar for so many years, right, and I've had the awesome experience of helping students with their guitar playing from all over the world, I see so many of the same issues over and over again that students have challenges with. So a lot of the exercises and techniques I come up with to help students overcome these issues. And with chord changing, I see a lot of the same, I don't want to say mistakes, but a lot of the same technique things that can be done better over and over and over again, where a lot of times it's just these little tweaks that make all the difference in the world and turn the light bulb on. And that's what this video is all about. And before we get rocking, if you could do me a huge favor, please subscribe to the channel. You know, subscribing to the channel really helps us to keep bringing the content, as well as then you'll be notified when we have new lessons up. Leave a comment below. Let us know how you like this lesson, what lessons you'd like to see coming up. If you like the video, please click the like button, give it a thumbs up, share it, and thank you so much for your support. My guitar is tuned to standard tuning, A440, low to high, E, A, D, G, B, E. And I'm showing you these technique tips today using an acoustic guitar, but these are the same whether you're playing acoustic or electric, and I'll just show you with some basic open position chords. So these top 3 tips I'm going to give you, they're all equally important. It's not like one is more important than the other. I'm just going to explain them in number 1, 2, or 3, but they're all equally important. The first one is, and I see this a lot, is keep your hand, your fret hand, in the same what I call chord cluster, meaning this. You never want to take your hand and pull it out away from the guitar and away from a clustering of chord position with that fret hand, right? If you notice, if I don't even strum and I just go from chord to chord to chord as I'm talking to you, do you see my hand never comes off the fretboard this way, right? And it always stays fingers so close to the fretboard like you could just get a credit card underneath them. You never want to come out like this. I see a lot of students playing a chord, like a G chord, and then they'll go to whatever, like a C chord, and they take their whole hand apart just to put it back in a cluster again and go to C, right? You want to leave your hand in a tight cluster. That's really important. Close to the fingerboard, the neck at all times. Kind of related to that first tip, the second tip is that you want to use what I call shared fingers. So important, meaning a lot of times when you're changing chords, especially these open position down here and first position chords, they share a lot of the same notes. So you don't want to take your finger off a given string just to put it right back on that same string, because then it makes you late to the next chord change. When this is something that, and you might even, and even if you make it in time, you could make it so much easier. So this is something that will really make your chord changing so much more proficient. I'll give you some easy examples first, but you can look for these all over the guitar, right? Just to show you, let's say if you're changing from this G chord to a C add 9 chord, right? Obviously, those 2 chords share these 2 notes on the high E string and the B string, this G note and the D note. So you wouldn't play the G chord, then take your hand completely apart just to put it right basically back in that same position, right, on those same strings. You would leave those 2 down, go G, and then just drop these 2 fingers. Notice they're in the same cluster. I'm not taking them away from the fretboard. I'm just dropping them straight down, playing that C add 9, right? G, C add 9. And these 2 fingers stay down because they share those 2 notes. Here's another example. If I play a C major to an A minor, right? That chord, C and A minor, shares the C note here, and it also shares the E note there with the second finger. So those 2 fingers, you do not need to pick them up just to put them right back down in that same spot. They share those notes together, those 2 chords, C, A minor. The best way to make that change is just pick up the 3rd finger and put it right underneath the 2nd finger. There's your A minor chord, right? That's all it is. Not C chord, then take your whole hand apart, put it back together to play A minor. It's a very easy, proficient move. Notice too, my hand is always in this same chord, quote unquote chord, no matter what chord I'm playing. Cluster. I am not, right? I'm not pulling away from the fretboard, and it's not coming way, way off. Right? And there's so many chord changes that have these shared fingers. Especially early on, you're going to be doing a lot of the same changes. And you'll see a lot of the same changes over and over and over again in songs like C to A minor, or like, G to E minor, or whatever, right? G to D. So you want to get that muscle memory down, changing those chords in the most efficient manner, okay? When you're going from G to E minor, another example, those two chords share this B note on the second fret of the A string, right? So I'm not playing G and then taking my whole hand apart, E minor, here it is here it is here, E minor, right? All I have to do is remove this second finger and put it right underneath the first finger, and there's my E minor. Now you might have to shimmy the first finger down a little bit just to fit it in there, but you don't have to take it off, right? It's just that very, very proficient moves where you're not moving the fret hand that much at all. This is absolutely critical to proficient chord changing, looking for those shared fingers and then practicing those changes back and forth, until you have them in your back pocket and that muscle memory is down. And if you want some more chord changing tips and techniques and exercises that'll really blast your chord changing to the next level, I can really help you with that. Tell you what, click on that link in the YouTube description box and I'll send you a killer extended play lesson over 30 minutes long with all my chord changing techniques, exercises. I pair it with an ebook of mine which has even more exercises and lessons in it. It's a great 1-2 punch. It'll just get your chord changing blasted to the next level fast. Click on that link below. I'll send it to you for free. And then the third thing that I see all the time that really needs a lot of correction is the pinky finger being out of position. And this falls into play for so many people studying and learning guitar, is that pinky finger is very hard to control and it's out of position. It's like way out here, right? And then it has to travel so far to get back into position because it's kind of flailing out from the rest of your hand. That's very common too. These are all very common things that happen when you learn guitar, and a lot of times they go uncorrected till somebody shows you or tells you, and that's just how it works, right? But the pinky's a big issue for a lot of students, and then once you're doing it for a long time, you really have to work on correcting it. These habits are kind of hard to undo, right? So my suggestion for that is this: when you're learning your chords, take the pinky and attach it to the third finger. So it's what I call hitching a ride on that third finger. See on my D chord? I'm not using the pinky, but it's right there. And it's there because it's so close to hopping into action when I need it. And it's in the right position. Because when I go to G, like from D, bang, I just put it right down. See, I don't have to take it from all the way out here and go down. It's all about economy of movement. Right? It's right there. Or like when I'm playing an A minor chord, notice that pinky is hitching a ride. It's literally on my third finger, but right there, very close to the strings, ready. Same thing like E major. See, I don't have to have that pinky there, but it's there. It's part of the technique on a D chord, right? Whatever chord, on a C chord. That pinky stays right there. And that's really going to help you when you go to bar chords, because that third and fourth finger on a bar chord is right in that position. So that's kind of why I always talk about it like that, because it falls right in. So the proper chord changing techniques now will help you as you move forward in your journey, and will help you as you gain more experience on the guitar, and will be less work to undo all those bad habits later, because your fundamentals could have been tuned a little bit better, right? So and it takes a while to get that pinky trained to do this. So you have to just kind of chip away at it a little a day if you're having trouble with that pinky. But keep it down, right? And that muscle memory will come and you'll get it. If you notice, I keep saying that word muscle memory. And why is it so important? Because eventually you want to get to the point with your chord changing where you're really not like cognitively sending that message down from your brain to go. And I know it's like this in the beginning, changing whatever, C to A minor. Okay, brain, finger, move third finger down there underneath that one. Got it. There it is. Got it. Okay, back. And I have to, and it's an effort to really do that. That gets easier and easier, believe me. And I know that might seem like it's a lifetime away. It isn't, because I see this progression with students over and over and over, because I teach so many students and I see how it works, right? So basically, you want to eventually get to the point by practicing these that you're not even thinking about it. See, I can go through all these open position changes and they're clean, and I'm not thinking about it while I'm talking to you, right? Because I have the muscle memory down. I'm not necessarily, it's not like a very cognitive thing where I'm sending that message down to change, or I have to worry about moving fingers. It becomes automatic, and you will get there. You will. You just have to keep it up with patience and practice, and you'll get there. And just practicing these changes and your technique back and forth, even if you're sitting in front of the TV and you're watching TV, you don't have to be cognitively working on this. You could just be sitting there watching TV and just going through the movements, and that will help your muscle memory, right? The more you can put your hands on the guitar early on, the better, as long as you're over the sore fingertips part of it, because that will all help the muscle memory. So remember, good people, fingers as close to the fretboard as all times as possible, fret hand in the chord cluster, never coming apart. Just get a finger, a credit card in between your fingertips when changing, never out of position, right? Using shared fingers when you're changing chords. You're not picking up fingers to put them right back down on the same note, right? And then, of course, that pinky, keeping that attached to that third finger and really working on that. And these tips are really going to help blast your chord changing to the next level. I hope these tips help you along in your chord changing journey. Certainly email me if you have any questions. I'm here to help. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. That really helps us to keep bringing the content, as well as you'll be notified then when we have new lessons up. And for even more in-depth tips on technique tips on chord changing and exercises, click on that link below and I'll send you my killer video lesson. Free ebook. It's a killer 1-2 combination. It'll get your chord changing blasted to the next level. I'll send it to you for free. Just click on that link below. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support over the years and years. So appreciated. Stay tuned. I got tons more killer content and lessons coming. Keep up all that hard work on that guitar. Keep putting it in your hands every day. It gets easier and easier with time. Remember, so much is about that muscle memory. You can do it. Stay positive. And remember, your playing is an evolution. I'll see you in the next lesson. Rock on.